We're getting an expansion, not to Oblivion, not to Skyrim, but to Concord. I didn't expect it. Big surprise. Here we go.
So, Bungie's got a new game set to release on September 23rd, 2025 called Marathon.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be this, like, co-op first-person shooter, extraction shooter sort of game. Players working together in what they're calling quote-unquote crews, which I believe go up to 3 people. So, potentially you'll have, like, 2 teams of 3 going up against each other.
Yep.
And they define the gameplay loop as...
It's an extraction shooter.
Gather as much loot as you can, and make it out alive. The reception for this game is already rather tempered at best, but many are saying it looks worse than that. For example, saying it looks really boring, really bland, and uninspired, etc., etc. Well, in a Reddit post from the other day, on Sunday, April 13th, a Marathon dev came out with a statement addressing the issues that people have in his own special way, which you'll see in a moment.
That's good. I mean, I'm glad that they're listening.
While also mentioning that he is a dev who also worked on the one, the only, Concord. Before we read that, let's get some more context on the public reception. Here are some of the top comments from the trailer that I was just playing. Comments.
At the end of Marathon is layoffs. Oh boy. Hearing there's a new Marathon game out, then finding out it's a team-based extraction shooter took me from an elated high to a depressing depth so fast. Art style has changed a lot since the first trailer. Uh-oh.
Reading. At the end of the Marathon is layoffs. Hearing that there's a new Marathon game out and then finding out it's a team-based extraction shooter took me from such an elated high to such a depressing depth so fast that ancient Greeks are writing an epic poem about it. Art style has changed a lot since the first trailer. Back then, the teaser trailer embossed a gritty, surreal, and unforgiving feeling.
Yeah, the original one was pretty good.
To say the least.
I liked it.
This trailer felt arcadey, plasticky, and casual. A very different feeling compared to the teaser trailer. This is quite conflicting, to be honest. And I love how the general vibe in the comments is that everyone's just really underwhelmed. All right, with that context,
I don't think, like, the weird thing about Marathon is that I feel like very few people are super positive about Marathon. There are some people who are like, this looks good, but I feel like there's been a lot of people that are really negative about it, and there's been some people that are, like, kind of on the fence, and people that are just kind of negative, but there are very few people that are, like, super hyped, right? And I do find that to be, I mean, that matters.
Let's hop over to the Reddit post from the Marathon dev, who's also an ex-Concord dev. And I'll be joining you over there in VTuber mode. Hopefully you saw yesterday's video where I briefly mentioned what's going on with
Destiny
that.
players
but
will
super
play
ultra quick TLDR. I'll be doing some videos in part with my VTuber model, maybe entirely with the VTuber model.
The thing is with, like, Destiny is that I feel like you're going to get people. It's the same as, like, anytime Blizzard made a new game, people would play the new game, but that doesn't mean that the new game is going to, like, really last for a long period of time.
Or maybe not using the model at all. It kind of just depends, but the idea is it'll help me make more videos, get more content out there. And on top of that, it can also just help me get videos done more efficiently, because to be quite frank, it's less editing when I use the VTuber model. I noticed yesterday, like, I got that video done way quicker than usual. Not that my videos are highly edited to begin with. I'm not saying that. But regardless, more efficiency is still a good thing. Okay, with that all said, we're over here on Reddit with the title, Former Firewalk/Concord Dev Talks Marathon.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you know it's going to be good. Hey all, former Firewalk Studios dev here. I've been a long-time lurker for many years and rarely post to Reddit/any social in regards to what is going on with my life as a developer/artist. After reading the comments about Marathon being Concord 2.0 on Reddit, YouTube, and Twitch, I just wanted to share a little insight into what a 40-year-old man is feeling after dedicating a large portion of his life to making video games.
You're not going to address the elephant in the room for why people think Concord and Marathon look the same. This is the problem that the professional gaming space has. They won't say what the problem is. Everybody knows what the problem is, but they don't want to say it. And that's why they keep making the same mistakes.
I mean, I guess maybe, but, like, it sounds like what you really want to do is try and, like, make people, like, think it's not going to be Concord 2.0.
Oh,
right?
no. Oh, no.
So for the past 17 years, I've been part of some great projects. But by the way, not exactly a compelling argument to be like, it's not Concord 2.0. We just have Concord devs working on this. Continuing, though.
Yeah.
For the past 17 years, I have been part of some great projects and worked with some of the most talented people who made the dev. Who made me the dev I am today, excuse me. Many players know about...
The problem is that the design of the game and the character design specifically looks weird. Like, I have the mindset that if you can't immediately tell the gender of a character, you're probably doing a bad job with character design. And I think that American developers and Western developers at large have gone down this pipeline of creating a lot of androgynous, weird-looking characters for I don't even know what reason, but they've been doing it a lot. And I think the outcome of that is nobody wants to play the game. Nobody likes the game. And I think that's what's happened in multiple games. Like, every single game that I see that's gone with this, like, more, uglified look for characters, or, like, this more androgynous, like, attractive character look, none of them succeed. They all fail. Like, pretty much every single time they fail. So if you keep making this character, and like, this is the problem, is like, even this developer here will not address in plain English what the problem is, when everybody knows what it is, but we can't talk about it.
Concord, and what happened with that project. Concord failed to inspire players, and the messages was heard loud and clear. It was gut-wrenching to see our project fail and be the laughingstock of many online. I have learned that failure is what drives me to succeed. No one feels as bad as the people who put their time on the line, hoping it will entertain the masses of gamers across the globe. Okay, pause. Did they really think? This is kind of like a rhetorical question, but like, it's still hard to believe. I'm going to change the point, actually. It's not a rhetorical question. Here's the point. It's kind of hard to believe that any of the devs who worked on Concord ever genuinely thought, like, oh yeah, everyone around the globe is going to love this.
We're really
like,
cooking, guys.
Maybe not everyone, but gamers, masses of gamers around the globe are going to love this game. My point is, how tone deaf could these people be? It's like insane. I am not asking for pity or even sympathy, because after all, this is the name of the game. You win or lose.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Oh.
Some of you probably smell blood in the water and probably want to roast me for no longer lurking and exposing myself. I hope you don't, and see that people create these projects and work very...
People create a lot of shit that sucks. People create pretty much everything that sucks. How do you think it came about? Because of people. Duh.
hard to be the next big thing. I commend them
when they say, oh, if you, like, remember what the definition of insanity is? It's doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, aka me playing Dark Souls. So if you fucked up on Concord and you're not telling them how not to fuck up, I feel like you're a little bit fucking insane.
Taking a chance, trying something foreign to them that isn't proven nor guaranteed to succeed. It takes a lot of courage. Okay, bro, so let's discuss this point right here where he's like, I hope you don't and see that people create these projects and work very hard to be the next big thing. Why do so many developers like this, like specifically it's usually like AAA devs who work on a game.
They constantly make these emotional appeals. I don't care. Put the fries in the bag. It's the same thing with streamers. Like, oh, it's so hard being a streamer. It's so hard being a game dev. Put the fries in the bag. Shut the fuck up. Stop trying to guilt your audience into buying your garbage. Make a good product, win, and then people like you. That's it. Winners win, losers lose.
Like Concord. They end up trying to have this like toxic positivity stuff, which is something that also got exposed to Firewalk Studios, right? That was like a big point of contention, that they had this culture of toxic positivity, I believe was the quote. And it kind of reminds me of that. It's like, oh, I hope no one says anything bad about our game. You know, we're people that work on this. How is that?
It's emotional manipulation. That's what it's going on. They're trying to emotionally manipulate the situation in order to make a person feel guilty for criticizing the game.
Actual like counterpoint of any merit, like, hey, you're not allowed to criticize this game, this AAA game, because you know people work on this. It's reminding me, it's giving me flashbacks, maybe like war flashbacks from a week ago of the voice acting situation with Genshin, where all these voice actors want to, or they feel entitled to like the public supporting their cause with the whole alleged strike.
Everybody has to care.
They're not calling a collective work refusal, right? It's like, oh, the internet should support us. The people, the fans of Genshin need to support us. We're voice actors. We deserve their support. And these people are like, oh, we're devs. We deserve the public supporting us. It just comes off so entitled. I don't know how they ever thought this is like an acceptable thing and like a good point to
The reason why they think it's okay is because they live in an echo chamber of other people that only agree with them and tell them that they're right about everything. That's the reason why it gets so bad, and I think that's the reason why it's been so bad. It's because they're constantly insulated from any sort of feedback, and they view anybody like me or him or anybody else as these bad actors that take advantage of people.
We'll be making over and over again.
And like we're like
some sort of gotcha
racist
against
or
criticism.
something like that.
And of course, the other fallback plan.
And here's the thing, right? And this is it might sound bad to say, but if everybody in the audience is racist and you make a video game and it's not racist, you're not going to sell any of those games. Like whether you think that you should or not doesn't really fucking matter. Like you want to sell a game in another country that's homophobic, well, if you have a gay character in it, you're going to have a bad time. That's it. So, like, it doesn't matter what you think the audience is supposed to like. You don't get to tell the audience what they want. Actually, you do. But you don't get to tell the audience that they have to buy it. That's the difference. You can put out whatever art you want, but you can't put out whatever art you want and then get mad when other people don't want to see it.
Is, oh, when we get criticism, let's just say it's like harassment. That's always one that they like to use too. And we got this. I commend them for taking a chance, trying something I think I read this already, my bad. Foreign to them that isn't proven nor guaranteed to succeed. It takes a lot of courage. Okay, TLDR. TLDR, I worked on Concord and did my best. We came up short, but that's an understatement. $200+ million loss. Game closes in like 2 weeks, was it?
It is a generational level failure that will be discussed in 30 years from now in the same way that we discuss Atari burying all of the ET copies in Mexico. Concord will be discussed 30 years from now as such a astronomical generational failure that it's a fucking warning to anybody else in the future.
It's like one of the
It's like fucking Icarus with the wings.
Biggest failures in gaming. And hey guys, you know, we came up
A
short, but we did our
mythical
best.
level L.
I mean, dude, if that's your best, what is like? Who would want you to work on another game?
The cautionary tale.
That was our best work right there, guys. Here's now us working on Marathon. Don't forget to buy it. Like, okay, bro. We came up short. Please don't punish others for our mistake. We are all human beings. Oh
We're
my
not
god.
punishing others for your mistakes. All we're doing is seeing a pattern. That's all. It's not a good pattern.
Gosh, there we go again. We are all human beings who are trying to create something special, and Marathon is no different. Be kind and be cool, as video games are meant to be fun. How about stop acting like the internet police and just make a good game?
Yeah, exactly.
You apparently have all these talented people working on it. You got Bungie's AAA money with you too. But hey, people were saying this might be Concord 2.0, and dude had to come out and
like
apparently expose himself to make this damage control post.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And he never addressed, keep in mind, he never addressed any of the complaints about Marathon. He never addressed any of the complaints about Concord. All he said is we came up short. And that's the reason why these people keep failing, is if you can't identify a problem, you can never fix it. And that's the big issue that happens.
The comments
yeah,
by
there's
Concord.
no accountability. You're doing your best. No, you're not. You're not when you put a fat girl in a game as a hero shooter, you're not doing your best. You have made a mistake. Everybody knows that. But for some reason, you want to pretend like, oh, I don't know, how could this have happened?
And take a look at what some of the Redditors are downvoting. We've got this one at the top, but actually first I'll read this one.
Can you move on from that? A lot of people are mad that I bring this up as a point, but I will make it very clear. Nobody wants to look at a fat chick, not even fat chicks. That's why they have filters to make themselves skinny. If you put these characters in your game, if you have ugly characters in your game, people won't want to play it. Period. It's a mistake to do it. It's an unforced error. In a market that's never been more competitive, you're handicapping yourself right out of the gate. It's a huge mistake.
Though we can't ever 100% confirm anyone who comes to our subreddit, this account's user history appears genuine and lines up with this post description. I'm going to leave this post up despite the reports, as while this has a marginal relationship with the actual game, the insight it provides outweighs any potential spam or off-topic content issues it provokes. Thank you for the unique insight, OP. It is immensely appreciated. See my follow-up comment. What's that? Addendum. Oh, is this the proof? People, when I said that we can't 100% confirm anyone comes to our subreddit, I didn't mean we hadn't done our due diligence. I meant that on the internet, one can never be absolutely certain. A 30-second glance at their user profile/history, a glance I did 17 hours ago, immediately validated this user's backstory via their LinkedIn to the highest
I could
furthest
easily
proof
see
we can
this
possibly
being true.
provide on a platform like Reddit. Please stop reporting this post and DMing me about this. Okay, I find it funny how this mod is like, oh yes, this post is so uniquely insightful. Such a insightful post. It's like, bro, the glazing, it wasn't very insightful at all, really. I mean, it's hilarious to note that this guy and others may have...
yeah, they didn't really add anything to the conversation, realistically. I mean, it was just like, don't be mean to them because Concord was bad. Like, there's no actual insight or, like, analysis of either game. There's nothing that's really being discussed. It's like, I'm sorry that we made this bad game. Please feel... Like, there's nothing about this at all.
This guy and other Concord devs, ex-Concord devs, are now apparently working on Marathon. But, like, aside from that, it's not a very insightful post at all. So, I don't know. It just seems like some unnecessary glazing there. But let's see some of the most downvoted, most controversial responses.
Oh, geez.
Those are going to be pretty interesting, I'm sure. To clarify what I mean, by the way, sort by controversial on Reddit. That's a thing. I think it means like posts that are getting lots of upvotes and downvotes. There's like an upvote-downvote battle going on or something. Sorry, but bland, homogenized paint-by-number games like Concord deserve to fail. Devs need to be reminded that AAA games exist to be sold as products. If the first reaction to the game is a resounding meh, then rather than taking it as an insult or ignoring it, maybe ask why. Then put in the work to understand the reason why people are not responding to it and try to course correct before it is too late.
They can't course correct. That's the problem.
Ignoring the issues, making self-pity posts, and hoping for the best is going to end just like it ended for Concord and Firewalk.
Yep.
You might not want to hear it, and this might get downvoted like crazy, but it is the truth and needs to be said.
Fucking based. Absolutely fucking based.
Main problem with AAA games these days is that they all try to copy-paste from each other because they are ballooning their budgets on useless tech that no one asked for. That also has the side effect of being so performance expensive that it locks out half your potential user base. Example, ray tracing. This is very performance impacting, barely makes a difference visually, and making it mandatory locks many people with older PCs out of being a potential customer.
That's right.
No one cares about
That's
Concord.
one of the big reasons why Fortnite was so successful. It's because you could play it anywhere.
The sales prove that.
It's actually a really
Concord's
good
just
insight.
a cautionary tale that other devs should learn.
What a surprise. A random Redditor understands more about Concord or more about game dev than a Concord developer. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could find a crackhead under a bridge that would do a better job at picking out characters for a video game than a Concord dev.
From.
I mean,
It should
that's
be an
just how it
example of
is.
what not to do. And this person gets -2 downvotes.
Of course.
So, quoting the OP and saying, I commend them for taking a chance, trying something foreign to them that isn't proven nor guaranteed to succeed. It takes a lot of courage. Taking a chance with what? With making another bog standard live service shooter with seemingly no campaign? Going with bog standard acid color palette?
Man.
Boldly ripping off another game in the genre without an ounce of originality? Oh, I know. They took a chance with ripping off their own old IP for name recognition, while having seemingly nothing to do with it. So pulled, so proud. With all due respect to the work you did on Concord.
There's no respect. He said he did visual effects on Concord. They were fucking garbage. They were trash. That's why you're out of a job.
And I did assume you did your best.
Just
That
the
game
way it
died
is.
because it was absolutely creatively bankrupt.
But
the game
that's
didn't have
not
a
my
single
fault.
original
I didn't
thought
do
put
it.
into it. Marathon also looks creatively
Were they?
bankrupt.
Yes!
I'll be happy if I turn out to be wrong
God.
on that. But boy, will I celebrate if it brings the modern Bungie down. Conversely, though, you've got this person who says,
Having played
Concord for a good 30 hours, I enjoyed it. Wow, that's like 20% of Concord's life right
Wow.
there. Good job. The person really got some hours in while he could. But anyways, look at this. We've got a response where the OP responds.
Oh, God.
Says, they're really bringing out the heavy hitters for damage control, huh? The OP's like, my opinions are my own. And
No, they're not. You don't have any opinions. You are giving the industry approved, correct, empathy-pilled opinion to try to guilt gamers into liking something that's garbage. That's what you're doing. This is not your opinion. I guarantee you, if you're a 40-year-old man and I ask you, like privately, with no cameras, no one recording, why did Concord fail? You could tell me exactly why Concord failed, and you would understand it 100%. But you won't say it publicly because you're afraid for your career. And I understand and I respect that. But what I don't respect is telling me that your opinions are your own. No, they're not. And you know it.
And this is how I feel. Take it or leave it. And the response that another user gives the OP, as well as this comment right below it, bring up the point that I was basically making earlier about the lack of insight. Because that moderator was like, wow, this is so insightful. So these comments read, people will leave it. You completely failed to address all the problems with these games. And you're basically just begging for people to play your terrible game because you tried hard.
This is like, bro, this is like streamers that stream 8 hours every single day. And they're like, why aren't I growing? It's like you can use your head to hammer a nail through a piece of wood, or you can use a hammer. Just because you're working hard and it hurts you really bad to use your forehead doesn't mean that you're doing something that's worthy of any sort of praise. There are plenty of people who do stupid things in inefficient ways, and they fail because of it.
Hundreds of millions of dollars and years of time, and you could not come up with something more interesting than another generic shooter, and you made it visually repulsive because of some weird man-hating ideological reasons too. And this one's saying, you didn't talk much about Marathon there, pal.
No, not at all.
3 responses. Let's see this. Oh, the OP.
Oh,
the OP response says,
I didn't need to. No, it's not that you didn't need to. You're not allowed to. You know what the problems that people have with Marathon are, but you can't verbalize them. That's why you'll keep failing. It's the same reason why Twitch can't figure out girls that are doing sexual content on their website. The reason why Twitch can't get rid of the OnlyFans girls is because they're afraid to acknowledge that they exist. Because in acknowledging that they exist, they place a negative imposition on sex work, which is considered counterintuitive to what their worldview is. So they have to talk around the problem, and they have to address elements of the problem without actually looking at what the problem in fact is. And that's the big weakness that these people have, is that they keep having these issues where you know what the problem is, but you can't say it. And so you can't fix the problem.
Me too.
That's it.
Search all the other threads on Reddit calling Marathon as Concord 2.0. I'm not your pal guy. What the frick? What the heck? Antagonizing potential customers. That's never backfired before because it is Concord 2.0. No need to talk about Marathon. And another OP response to this one right around here. There we go.
Here it is.
Interesting time and place to come post this. Yopi says, yeah, I sat by and watched the comments roll in while working at Firewalk. I hope the comments are living rent-free, man. He's never going to forget what happened, the comments that people made about Concord. I had to. It's a matter of being professional. He says that this is professional. Ain't no way. I'm not going to...
No, it is. It is. He's being professional. He's offering empty platitudes, unconditional support, and an adherence to an agenda that's not supported by players. There is nothing more professional in the game industry than that.
Sit idle anymore. Oh, wow. Yeah, he's not going to sit idle anymore, guys.
He's going to
fight
fight back.
Reddit post. Watch out.
I had to.
We've got another OP dev response. First, the comment reading. I'm sorry, what's the point of this post? If you're trying to tell people not to be mean, then that's going to make things even worse. The OP says, to possibly illustrate that devs are human beings.
So we can't say that the characters look bad or the gameplay looks boring? Like, what is this? I mean, what are you doing? It's this emotional manipulation, bro. Like, it's crazy how hard these people go with it.
Yeah, no one ever thought that before. Like, what the frig? Why you keep saying this over and over again, man? Like, I already addressed this point. I just can't believe he's still going off like that. Making a game for enjoyment. And yeah, okay, enjoyment, huh? So you're working for free? Is that what's going on here? You're just not getting paid at your big AAA company. It's all for enjoyment, you know? You should feel bad for us and support us. and possibly resonate with others' ability to have compassion and empathy.
Also, if you're making the game for your own enjoyment, why do you need the validation from other people? Oh, that's right. Because you're not. You're making it for money.
The gaslighting is real, bro. The gaslighting is real. This person says it's
so
like telling a
stupid.
bully to have sympathy. I think this person's the bully, if anything.
They are.
I don't think people responding to these terrible games are the
They
bullies.
are. They are bullies because they're the ones that are trying to malign the people that are the complainers about Marathon, that don't like Marathon. They're trying to malign them as some form of bad actor. And so, like, they're trying to make an appeal to emotion and to, like, some form of, like, sympathy rather than actually addressing the complaints and the things that people think.
So I think the corpos are the bullies, to be quite frank. They made a terrible game, Concord, and want to charge people $40 for it. And then when the game flops and people don't want to waste their money on the game, suddenly they're the problem, they're the bullies. Like, no, dude, that's ridiculous. It's not how that works. These AAA corpos constantly bash gamers whenever they get a chance. Then when their games flop, they play victim, and it's all extremely manipulative. Let's go to this comment. This may be the last one we take a look at, unless there's another interesting dev response. Can we stop pretending that devs making the most generic games imaginable are somehow bold and brave? No other job gets
exactly.
a free pass like game devs whenever something bombs or receives criticism. I feel like they're being babied at this point. So tired of this.
It's so pathetic, bro. It is so fucking pathetic. I see this constantly. Like, if you can't handle direct, harsh criticism, quit. Just quit. Quit and go do something else. That's with streaming, YouTube, anything where you directly interface and you sell a product to the public. If you can't handle direct and brutal criticism, quit. Yeah, that's it. Like, and it will never get better.
All right, so yeah, those were some of the comments sorted by controversial and the devs' responses to those comments. Let me know what you think about that stuff as well as the OP itself. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed my coverage, and if you did, please consider liking and or subscribing. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.
I think it's pretty funny to see this happen, and I think it's going to continue. Is that you're going to have these games and you're going to have like these developers that keep doing this and try to like justify it, but none of them have any ability to actually verbalize what the problems are and what the rebuttal to those problems is. And I think that that's like what's I find to be the funniest thing about it is that every single time that this is discussed, it's always talked around rather than talked about. And so that's the big issue that happens, is that these people are not willing to address the actual problems that the game has. You want to just tweet about PoE 2? Oh, really? Yeah, I'll link you guys the video, give it a like. But yeah, I totally agree with what he's saying. And like the game developers trying to like constantly bank on people feeling sorry for them is so exhausting. Oh my God. Yes, it's crazy, and I'm very, very glad to see people finally pushing back against this. It's not wrong, it's problematic. Yeah, exactly, right? And so it's a weak move. Yeah, it's just, this guy's pretty good. Yeah, I watch a lot of his videos, and I think he's right about a lot of this stuff, but it's just really, really fucking funny for me to see this, man. Imagine buying a vending machine and totally, that's totally bad, and then only caring about the people that didn't complain. Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is that a lot of the people working on these projects whose budgets are unseen in most industries, besides highly public supported ones such as aerospace or defense or energy. Well, the problem is that this post reminds me a lot of the Park Screech. Well, what it is it's that it's that the people that are like I think that there's like a lot of like solidarity that happens. And you see this with a lot of industries where people want to project a degree of solidarity with each other. And because of that solidarity, they end up defending bad actions. And I think this happens a lot with streamers too, is that like streamers will sometimes defend other streamers doing something wrong, even though it's really a bad thing to do, but they don't want to say that because it could, it could make them look bad, right? It's like somebody that's effectively like on their side, I guess. So like you defend Son? Well, some people think that I feel like I'm very fair. But a lot of people, yeah, and everybody's going to have their own decision about that. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Oh, and we even had, I just checked my my phone whenever I went to the bathroom, and we even have another bonus event. So this is me talking about Marathon. Asmongold thinks that in Marathon, all of the female characters in the game, make sure that all of the female characters in the game are fuckable. Because it's a game made primarily for men. I think that pretty much every single circumstance, it's always a bad idea to make characters that are not conventionally attractive. Because this is, again, this is a shooter game. And shooter games are going to be primarily played by men. So if you're making a shooter game that's primarily made for men, then you should make sure that all of the female characters in the game are fuckable.
Of course.
And I know this might sound crazy to say, but I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
That's what you should do. That's what you should do. Because that's what people want to do. That's what girls will cosplay. Girls don't want to cosplay ugly, weird-looking, androgynous, creepy characters. And all of that, like, think about how much advertising Marvel Rivals gets because of how many girls try to cosplay the characters. I think that pretty much every... So, let's read some of the comments. I'm not taking advice from a dude who 100% never been with a real woman. Okay, if Asmon says female characters should look fuckable because primarily men play shooter games and all the males should also look fuckable for the gays... Well, yeah, of course you should have attractive men. So we have a lot of people, and Paul's even unhappy. I gotta say, I really did not see this Discord coming to Marathon. Like, I know I should know better, but come on, these are clone robot shell things that are practically Legos. It's parody at this point. I understand that a lot of people don't want to accept the truth. But regardless, I will drag them kicking and screaming to reality.